Because it's focused
Every
on
time
me.
you move, it takes the focus off me and on you. And that's
I don't see the problem with that.
frustrating.
Pregnant.
Hello, everyone. This is my first trimester recap video with twins. And this is my sister-in-law who lives with us. And she also has a channel called... What is your channel?
What channel's called? I think it's just Rachel Opal.
We'll insert it here.
We'll link it down in the description.
We will insert it here and put it in the description. Since she lives with us here, I asked her to help share this information about how the first trimester was for me with twins.
A lot of information to say.
Yeah, she's going to share it all. I've asked her to just be honest. If it's hurtful, it's hurtful.
It's hurtful.
I'll just start out with when we started, when we found out I was pregnant.
I just got really nervous.
Yeah. Okay. And you want to do a podcast together? I'm kidding. That would honestly be great.
I want you to be my camera woman.
Oh, you don't want me to talk?
Of course not. Jeez. Okay, go on.
Anyone else hold their drink like that? Okay, I found out I was pregnant at 5 weeks. Which, with Melody, I found out at 4 weeks. And I had no symptoms. This time, I found out at 5 weeks. And I'd say I had about a week of symptoms that made me want to check that I was pregnant.
And you were.
And I was. And if you watched my finding out I'm pregnant video, you will know I didn't think I was because we weren't trying to have a baby. But I knew that there's always an opportunity, you know, there's always a small chance. So I was like, you know what? I've been extremely moody. What was it? Like from week 4 to 5. I just we went to Sam's Club. I cried because I wanted a Sam's hot dog. And we were getting them. That was part of the plan. I don't know if I've never told you this,
so
but
excited.
I wanted a Sam's hot dog so bad because I had never had one. And Caleb said, yeah, that's part of the plan. We're going to get a hot dog and we're going to do grocery shopping. Me, Caleb, and Melody. And I started tearing up.
Because we were excited.
As we show up at Sam's, I'm angry for some reason. And then I'm also emotional about the hot dog. Never have I ever craved a hot dog at all. I think I've cried about other foods. Because
corn dogs, but not hot dogs. Corn dogs. Very different.
We should get a corn dog today.
That sounds so good. Let's go to Sam's.
I love corn dogs. Mostly because they're on a stick and you can just you can pretend like they are magic
a weenie whacker.
I just remember getting in a big fight with Caleb in the car on our way to Sam's, and then 5 seconds later, not even 5 seconds later, getting emotional about the hot dog. And so I was like, okay, that's not normally me when PMS happens. I'm really not. You can't.
She really
even
doesn't
tell.
have symptoms, which is really annoying.
Rachel's always like, I'm craving chocolate.
I'm
like,
disaster.
Why do girls always say that? She's like, that's just part of it. But for me, it's really not. And so when I get emotional or I have a craving, it's weird.
Yeah.
So I knew that was weird. And then we were in the car a few days before I found out I was pregnant, or maybe this was after, but it was around the 5-week mark. And she was on FaceTime with her mom and our nephew.
This.
I didn't say anything though, but she could tell I was so angry.
She was really annoyed.
Only because she was talking kind of loud, and we were in a small space in the car. And then she laughed, and it was like in my ear. And I remember being like.
She got mad.
I had an actual visualization of me taking your head and slamming it.
Did you really? You gotta tell me apart? Oh. I could have died. I'm so sorry.
No, I would never do that, but I was so angry that I was having aggressive.
You could have hit me.
Aggressive thoughts. Yeah,
wow.
And I
remember that day. That was really unusual.
You were just loud and happy.
I was just loud and happy.
And that was
wrong.
Other than that, I think I was just super bloated. But once I found out I was pregnant, I think the symptoms started. I don't know if it's psychological. But once I found out I was pregnant, it's like the next day I started feeling nauseous.
You were so sick.
I was sick, but I was also just extremely bloated. I'd wake up in the morning and my stomach would just be rounded.
You were huge.
Whereas normally it sags.
No.
And so I was just so bloated and
So bloated.
I was starving. I was starving. I was so hungry, even like right after dinner. Like I would cook a big dinner and we would eat a lot.
Oh, we'd eat.
And everyone else would go to bed, and then
Late night munchies.
about 11 o'clock, a few hours after dinner, I was just like, I have got to get up and eat something or I'm gonna die. Like I needed to have, and I did that before I found out, because I remember waking up one night and going, I need to make ramen noodles. And that's when it hit me. I was like, I might be pregnant, because the last time I ate ramen noodles, you guessed it, was when I was pregnant with Melody.
Interesting.
I used to eat ramen noodles with like a gallon of hot sauce. Every day for lunch.
When you were pregnant with Melody? That's why she likes spicy food.
That's when it was obvious.
Then all heck broke loose.
If I never really have cravings
You really don't.
as much as I just don't feel good. I did crave the ramen noodles. I remember one night, I guess I did have cravings this time. I woke up and I was craving, it was in the middle of the night, I was craving like biscuits and gravy.
Ew. I hate gravy.
So the next morning, I went to McDonald's. And I literally called.
You did not get biscuits and gravy from McDonald's.
I sure did. I called on my way there.
No.
We're in St. Louis. Where am I supposed to
Ew.
get biscuits and gravy?
That's so disgusting.
Some random old lady's house that happens to know how to cook Southern food. I called McDonald's and I said, do you guys have gravy? Do you guys have gravy? And they were like, yeah, like with biscuits. I was like, in general.
No, I just want a cup of gravy.
But
'cause
yes,
I'm a psychopath.
I do want a biscuit and gravy. And they were like, yeah, we got it. So that was a weird craving.
So weird. That is weird.
But I never want sugar, and that's another thing. I never turn down dessert, but when I'm pregnant, I don't care. I don't care about
You've
dessert.
been really into Taco Bell.
I love Taco
recently.
Bell.
Come
I
on.
want. I ate like a breakfast crunch wrap as often as possible in
I
my
like
first
you-
trimester.
Did you have that craving with Melody
Yes.
too? You had a lot
Every
of Taco
time
Bell.
I was on my way to work, I was like, oh, I want a breakfast crunch wrap. And I even called one time because they were 5 minutes away from closing breakfast.
When you asked if they had gravy.
And I called and said,
Do you guys have gravy?
no,
at
I
Taco
said,
Bell?
I'm not going to make it before you close breakfast hours, but I need a crunch wrap and I'm pregnant. And
Oh,
I
did
got
they send you
there.
one?
They gave me 2.
Aww.
For the price of 1.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Which, speaking of 2 for the price of 1, I feel like we should be mentioning that at this point in the pregnancy, I didn't know I was having twins. So we only had 3-ish weeks of not knowing it was twins to suspect that it was twins. And let me just tell you, several people suspected it. I didn't really, but did you?
Oh, yeah.
And Caleb was positive I was having twins. Your mom was like, it's twins, because when we came to visit, I think we came to visit when I was 6 or 7 weeks pregnant, so barely at all. We told them I was pregnant, and then we went to church a few days later, and I was like, I was already really big, and your mom was like, there might be 2. In a nice way.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, you're not wrong. But Caleb was really sure. And his reasoning was, with Melody, I was nauseous, but I never really threw up. I think I threw up a total of 3 or 4 times.
Which is crazy.
The whole pregnancy. Well, more than that toward the end. But toward the beginning, like, I was still traveling. We were actually on tour, I guess, in the summer with our worship team. We were traveling and leading worship multiple weeks in a row sometimes, and like in different states, and I was having to eat camp food, and I was fine. Like, I was nauseous here and there.
Can you imagine doing that this time?
No. This is what happened this time, guys. Are you ready for this? From 6, 7, 8 weeks on through the rest of the trimester, I was pretty much bedridden. Like,
You
I
really
would
were
wait for
so
them to
sick.
get home from work, and then I would go lay down because I was so dizzy. I felt like I had the flu. I would have body chills. I genuinely was like, this feels like a flu virus, but honestly worse.
Yeah.
Because I have had COVID so many times and not even been that sick.
Yeah, you're usually not, like, when you get sick, unless you're, like, dying, you're not usually, like, down and out.
I was down and out.
You were down and
I
out.
was up and down.
I would come
and
home
out.
from work and you'd be on the couch and Melody would be running around and you'd just be like and I'd be like, are you okay?
And I would throw up a lot.
A lot.
And then we moved into this house when I was 9 weeks, which 9 weeks is like the peak of your hormone increase. So it was
It's a lot.
the worst time
It's a lot.
for nausea. And I remember moving in a box into the living room and then going in the bathroom and puking. And then going to pick up the pizza and being totally fine. But I was not only throwing up so much, but I was dizzy. Just like so dizzy. And that is because of progesterone increase, which is good. That meant that I was, like, the babies are healthy.
Yeah.
But it made me feel
It didn't
incredible.
feel good.
But that was one reason Caleb was like, I might do a separate video of Caleb and I talking about why he thought it was twins. Because he just was like, you were on a whole other level.
He really was convinced, which is weird for
Moody
him.
and extremely sick. And
Well,
like,
I was like, it's either twins or it's a big boy.
this is the end, I think.
Can I say my prediction on the
Yes.
gender and why?
Okay, Rachel, why do you... Sorry. What do you think the babies are and why?
Well, here's what I think. Whenever Melody and our nephew Maverick, right before they were born, right before the gender reveal, I had a dream about both of them.
That's true.
And the gender was right. I had one dream for both of them.
And it went against your guess.
And it went against my guess and my gut. Because I'm not very good at guessing these things. I don't have a sense about it, and that's fine. I never know when you're pregnant. I never know what
She
it
pretty
is.
much just wears the same pink outfit to every party.
I literally do. I'm going to buy a new one this time, though. But I think it's girls, and here's why.
Ooh.
After you got pregnant, before we knew it was twins, I had a dream.
Yeah.
And it was a girl. It was one girl.
Okay. Forgot about that.
So then, when it was twins, I was like, I think there's at least one girl in there. It's like
Yeah.
a girl and a boy. I really
You thought it was one of each for a minute.
I really feel like I get boy vibes. Okay,
Yeah.
not like just my gut. I feel like there's at least one boy in there. But I'm going to say two girls because then I had a dream that, because how y'all found out was with cupcakes. So I had a dream that they brought me downstairs and they were going to let me eat the cupcakes. And I ate one and
That
it was
we
a
already
girl.
ate.
Yeah, they were like fully formed too, which didn't make any sense.
I'm just kidding.
I ate one and it was a girl. And then I ate the second one and it was a girl.
You ate them?
I ate the girls. I ate the babies. I'm so sorry.
Wow, that's so crazy.
So my
Because that
final
was not
answer,
your guess.
No.
At all.
But I always guess wrong and then I have a dream.
We will link her channel, right?
Yes.
Somewhere.
It'll either be down in the description or it'll be right here.
Yeah. It could be anywhere. You just gotta look for it.
It could be anywhere.
It could be anywhere. You're gonna link
anywhere.
her channel. Go follow her. Subscribe to her. And get notified whenever she posts because it's good stuff. So, thank you for watching. And we'll be back with telling our family about the baby. Telling them that it's twins.
Is there only one baby in there?
Telling them that it's twins. The gender reveal. We got a lot coming up on here. So, if you want to know when that's posted, then hit the bell icon so that you know.
Sorry, I just zoned out and made a really mean face. Do all that stuff. Cut.